we've all heard about, the process of manifestation, creating your own reality. We're all the creators of our own reality. We hear that over and over again, especially in, if you'll forgive me, the New Thought community, which has been teaching us for a long time now. You're the creator of your own reality. So we've heard that over and over again. And we are encouraged to use that, shall I use the word power, or that ability, that gift that God has given us, that God has placed in all of us, the gift of being able to project energy in a particular way toward a particular event, circumstance, situation in life, such that the situation, circumstance, or event in life would be altered, would be changed. This is called manifestation. Now, you're all familiar with all this, I know. But here's what's different when we decide to redefine the energy itself. When we decide to call the energy a feeling, then we suddenly can begin to project much more powerfully into any circumstance, situation, or event the energy that God is. Because in the old days, before we had this new definition, we'd be trying to figure out how can I project energy? We try to do it with visualization. We try to somehow imagine this amorphous, energetic expression, but we didn't quite know how we could define it. But now, if we decide that the energy is a feeling, and if we decide that the feeling is pure love, I can then look into any situation, circumstance, and event in my life and send the feeling of pure love into it. I can even send the feeling of pure love into those I had formerly considered to be my enemies, or those with whom I disagreed. I can even send pure love in that way to that person or to that group, which would end our alienation. Guys, it would end our alienation. Love your enemies, and pray for those who persecute you, and do good to those who would do harm to you. And raise not your fist to heaven, and curse the darkness not, but be a light unto the darkness, that you might know who you really are, and that all those whose lives you touch will know who they really are as well. I'm not making this stuff up. Every major teacher of every major religious tradition through the centuries has told us the same thing. The question is not to whom is God talking. The question is, who's listening? And the real challenge here today would be, would more people listen if they heard it from you? Not just from the pulpit, not just from the lectern, not just in the lecture hall, not just in the church or synagogue or the mosque or the temple. But what if you decided to be the temple of the living Spirit and they heard it from you and watched you demonstrating that truth in every thought, word, and deed of your life? Are you up to it? Are you ready? Because I'm telling you right now, if everybody watching this program right now decided to move into that experience beginning tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, so much would change in your outer reality that you wouldn't be able to believe it. Because you're all miracle workers. All we have to do is decide to do the same thing at the same time, in the same way. And the way is really quite simple. This is the life and the way. It's called pure love. The next time you encounter anything you disagree with or that you find unwelcome in your life, project pure love into it. That is, pour love over it like you'd pour hot chocolate syrup over a bowl of vanilla ice cream. Just pour love over it. I'm not the only person to suggest this, by the way. There have been many, many writers in most recent times, especially, who are talking this way. Read any book by Byron Katie. Loving What Is the title of her book. And she's not kidding. Love what is. And if we can decide to love even that which we would have called unwelcome, suddenly we shift the energetic expression of that event or circumstance or situation. Because all of life is energy. We know this already. All of life is energy. And when we add our energy to it, it's like pouring hot water into a cup of cold water. It changes the constituency. It changes the whole experience. It physically changes that which is presenting. I'm not making this stuff up. This is basic metaphysics. The question is not, whether it's real. The question is, when do we decide to make it real in our lives? That's what this conference has been all about. And that's why I chose to say yes when I was invited to close the conference out.